sticking with Christmas, and it smells good. Yeah. I mean, we have sweets, we have Christmas, we have smell. I mean,
we have it all.
I'm just ready. I mean, this is right up my alley, Miss Lucy. Yes. Lucy Greer, of course, with Greer's Markets and Catering. We're making gingerbread with lemon sauce. Is that something that normally goes on gingerbread?
Well, gingerbread, as you know, is just kind of an old-timey cake, and a lot of times people top it with powdered sugar.
Yeah.
But we have this lemon sauce that Posey always makes.
Oh, my friend Posey.
I know, Grandmother Posey, and she puts it on bread pudding and different things, and so I thought it'd be good on this gingerbread cake.
Absolutely, and I can't wait to try this. This will be my breakfast this morning.
Yes.
Probably not the most healthiest breakfast, but you know what, Lucy? This would also go great with a cup of coffee.
It would. Great for breakfast or brunch or dessert, and especially with the holidays, now that Hanukkah's here. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. Lots of holiday stuff going on, and this would be great to make in little mini loaves to give away, and just lots of applications for it.
Good idea there, too.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we're starting out with. What ingredients are we starting out with?
We're starting out with 2½ cups of all-purpose flour, and we'll go ahead and put in all our spices. This is what gives it the great color, along with the molasses and the gingerbread taste. This is ½ a teaspoon of nutmeg. We have ½ a teaspoon of salt, ½ a teaspoon of ground cloves. We have 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of ginger.
And of course, we have this recipe on our website, so you can follow along. Maybe make this tonight for a little treat as we get into the weekend for the kiddos.
Yeah, it's super quick to make, and then I just added, the last thing there was 1½ teaspoons of baking soda, which that's going to, of course, help our cake rise a little bit. And then I'm just putting it through a little sifter here, just to make sure all of our ingredients are super light and airy, and we don't have any lumps in there. And of course, you know, you could use...
I've seen you sift things before. So good that you're explaining why we're doing this.
Yeah, and then say we just have a few little things right there, so you can either press them with your fingers or toss them out. So that's our dry ingredients.
Okay.
And now we can get started on our wet. We have 1 stick of unsalted butter in here. It's just softened.
And Joe can get a good shot of that.
Oh, yeah.
Since he's right here beside us. Good morning, Joe.
And then I just added ½ a cup of sugar and ½ a cup of light brown sugar. We're just going to cream these together. And this cake is actually going to bake in a 9x9 pan.
Okay.
So it'll give us a nice square and easy to cut up. And
I was about to say, is that important with the 9x9 pan?
Yeah, a 9x9 works best. You can also make it in a loaf pan. That will be fine too. When you make it in that 9x9, like I said, you can cut it up into squares, wrap it in plastic, tie a bow on it, give it away. So now I'm going to add 1 egg. And we're going to add 1/8 of a cup of either canola or vegetable oil. Okay. And that's going to help keep our cake really moist.
Now, Lucy, is baking something you guys do? I know it's a big tradition for families getting around Christmas to bake. I know my family has done it for years. Is it something that you guys do in your family?
We really don't get together and have a baking party, which would be really fun.
Right.
Maybe I should introduce that next year. But my mom and I always love to plan the holiday meals and get together and cook. Of course, she and I were mostly in the kitchen when I was growing up together. My sisters like to come in to eat, but they didn't like to come in to help.
I know how they feel.
So during the holidays, I love to be in the kitchen with my family. It's so much fun, and I always like to know what's going to be for lunch when it's breakfast and what's going to be for dinner when it's lunch.
Well, we're mixing away here in the kitchen. Coming up, what are you going to have Joe doing?
We are going to put the rest of this batter together, and then a little bit later we'll make that lemon sauce.
Oh, good. All right. Well, that's the third cooking segment. Of course, my favorite. I don't know why, Joe, but the third is always my favorite.
Back in our Studio 10 kitchen with Lucy Greer from Greer's Market and Catering. I love gingerbread. This looks awesome. I've been excited since I saw this morning. Chastity says it's hers. We're going to have a debate over that, and we'll see how the morning proceeds. So what do we need to do now, Lucy?
Now we have been working on our dry ingredients and our wet ingredients. I'm going to add in the molasses now. This is a cup of molasses, and I'm adding it to the stick of softened butter and ½ a cup of sugar, ½ a cup of brown sugar, 1/8 a cup of oil, and 1 egg, and these are all our wet ingredients. So we'll just get this mixed up, and in this bowl we sifted our dry ingredients together, which was 2½ cups of flour, and we spiced it up with nutmeg, ground cloves, cinnamon, ginger, and a little bit of baking soda to help it rise.
I like how this molasses is called Grandma's molasses.
I know. I saw that. I got that from Greer's, of course. And this is actually unsulfured molasses, which is the really sweet kind of molasses. So this is perfect for a cake and for making gingerbread men and gingerbread houses.
Yeah.
And so now all I'm going to do is just add these dry ingredients into the wet and also 1 cup of warm water. And we're just going to mix this together and our batter will be ready. So this is something that really doesn't take too long, and the good thing about baking is that a lot of the things you have on hand anyway, flour, sugar, butter. So when you're coming around the holidays and it gets a little bit tight with travels and buying gifts and things, it's sometimes nice to be able to make something from somebody, especially people that really enjoy baked goods and things, because it doesn't cost you too much and it's thoughtful.
And speaking of not costing too much, you have plenty of Greer's locations out there. People are looking to do their holiday grocery shopping, getting their goods together for family and friends. Tell us about that.
Yes, today is Wednesday, so of course we have an ad that broke today. And this is actually our Christmas ad that's going to run all the way through Christmas. So on our website, Greers.com, you can go on there and pick your location, whichever 31 of our locations is closest to you, and you can see all of our great specials. It's funny, for Thanksgiving it's all about food, so people are planning and planning and planning, but Christmas is a little bit different. So we try to make this ad really come out early, so that way you can help your family plan, because everybody's running around shopping for presents, and all of a sudden you remember that you have to eat.
Right. I never forget that I have to eat.
I don't either.
All right, well, we are looking forward to that. You're getting it in the big pan there, and when we come back, we're going to finish this up, and Chassie and I will arm wrestle over who gets to take a bite.
Let's be honest, I'm going to win that. Obviously.
No comment.
Finishing up in the kitchen this morning, Lucy, what do you have going on?
We are making our lemon sauce for our gingerbread. What I've already done in this little saucepan is combined a tablespoon of cornstarch and also a half a cup of sugar. And then I just boiled a cup of water and poured that in there. So we're just going to bring this up to a boil and let it go for 5 minutes, and then we'll remove it and add our lemon juice, a couple tablespoons of butter, and some salt. And that's a really quick, simple lemon sauce.
I was about to say, this only takes a few ingredients, and you can get it done pretty fast.
You can, and so this is great over bread pudding, French toast, this gingerbread, and what we already did here is we got our gingerbread all ready for the oven. We mixed together our wet ingredients, which was our butter and our brown sugar and our sugar, and we added molasses in there for the beautiful color, and then we combined some spices with our flour. We have the ginger and the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the cloves, and put it all together, and this is going to bake for about an hour at 350. And like I mentioned before, it's great to give away and perfect for the holidays.
And of course, we don't put the sauce on until the cake is done.
Exactly. Yes.
All right. Well, if you want to check out the recipe on fox10tv.com, we're going to put it there. As Lucy said, great for the holidays, great to give as gifts. You know, anyone can feel free to give me one of these for a holiday gift. And as far as Greer's goes, I know in the last cooking segment you guys mentioned getting ready for the holidays. I know all your stores are ready to go.
We are ready to go. End caps and displays of all your holiday baking needs, hams and turkeys in the market and the delis. Any store with a deli, we are doing holiday dinners. So we can, if you don't feel like cooking, we can get your dinner all ready for you. So
that sounds great.
So go into any of our deli stores and place your orders now. All
right. Well, I'm about to try this piece right here in front. I'm not going to save any for, well, maybe I'll save a bite for Joe. Maybe Joe.